Hey guys, welcome to another Power Ranger video. Just wanted to give a shout out to Rays over here. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your full name on YouTube. I'm gonna just call you Rays. And I wanted to give him a shout out because he brought up a good point before we get into this video regarding disarm. So I did want to go over that. He did say that disarm was, a little broken or broken, horrendously broken. Well, not a little bit. And his reason being, and it was a great point. If you transformed into a ranger form, you have -2 to activate attached cards. So a card like this one would be pretty much free. It would be essentially free. You'll be using it. And you'll look at your opponent's cards and the cards in their hand, and if they negate it, it doesn't really matter because you didn't lose any energy. They're using a block, a negate. So you're slowing them down in a way. I always thought this card was useless. But I guess this is a good way to use it if you transform it into a ranger. So good job there with that. I never even thought about that. Now let's get into today's video here. Today's video is going to be about the cards that I have here. We're going to compare some of the equipment cards that we have. And we're also going to go over the maneuver cards and just kind of compare them and see which ones are better and how can we utilize it. And obviously, I'm not a professional, because I didn't even know about the disarm thing. So I'm still learning as I go. So let's see just some cards here and let's just see what we got. Got the sets that we have here. And we have Sword of Darkness and Radbug, which are both level 5s. And we have it's Morphin Time and Regeneration. So obviously they all do something different. We got characters like Tommy who love equipment cards. We have characters like Jason who love hero cards. So we're just going to kind of compare each set, see which card has the overall better variety of cards on their sets compared to those. And we're going to go by maybe effects because it's going to be hard to really compare level 5 Sword of Darkness to its Morphin Time because these both have different effects. For example, you would want its Morphin Time on someone like Jason because if it's equipped on his blue slot, he can equip a non-adversary card on his yellow slot. If you have Sword of Darkness on someone like Tommy, it's going to be more beneficial for him because the more equipment cards he has, the more damage he deals. So we're not going to compare by levels of the card, the costs. We're going to go by maybe effects. So let's take out all the block cards because we have 2 block cards for equipment and 2 block cards for maneuvers. So let's take those out. We have Radbug, which is a block card from your hand. You can use it. And we have Dragon Shield, which is a level 3 and a level 5 cost. Then we have Dodge and Parry. Now these are good cards right here for Goldar because Goldar uses a lot of block moves. So if you use someone like Goldar, you do want to go for every block move possible. And I think that applies as well for the Blue Ranger. Let me see, I have him right here. Does that apply for the Blue Ranger? Deal 2 damage plus 1 damage for each block you control. So yes, the Blue Ranger block cards for him are great. And okay, so let's see. So since we're doing block cards, let's advertise the block characters here. We have Goldar, who's the best blocker of the villains. We have 2 slots of block. I'm surprised he doesn't have 2 slots of block as well. But he does, so he's the better blocker. Alright, anyways. So let's see what Radbug, anytime you see those hand symbol guys, that means you can use the card from your hand. So Radbug blocks, the block negates an attack. You can draw 2 cards, and then you can discard one of them. Then discard this card. So if you draw a card that you think is useless, like maybe, let's say you have a starter, and you're just like, no, I want this other one instead. Let's say you also draw like Dodge, and you want Dodge instead of a basic starter. You would want that card over, the basic starter Dodge card. And the other one, Dragon Shield, block, negate an attack, heal 3. So this is a good card if you are in trouble. So you can negate the attack, heal 3, then discard this card. So this is not bad. This is also good. I don't know. Maybe someone can explain this to me. I don't know if when you negate an attack, do you discard the card, or if you only discard the card if you heal 3, then discard this card? Like, is it an automatic effect? Do you negate the attack, heal 3, and then discard, or do you negate the attack and you can choose to heal 3 and then discard? I would say it's a whole effect, but I'm just curious, just to get clarification on that. If anybody wants to educate me on that, I would appreciate it. And then for the maneuvers, we have dodge, which negates an attack, draw 2 cards, and discard this card. This one sounds oddly familiar to this card. Instead, you don't discard a card. You keep both of them. The difference is it does cost more to activate. But this one gives you more for your discarding, for shards and energy. So, come back to those two. Then we have parry. Negate an attack, draw 1 card, then discard this card. So this one is more of a watered down version of those two. But at the end of the day, if you were to take Radbug and compare it to parry, you would think, let me move this out the way because the lighting is bad this way. Sorry guys, like a light over here. Let me see if I can turn it off. Okay, that's better. So, if we were to look at these two cards, they're both 4. They both cost 4. This one costs less, it's 3, and this one costs more, it's 5. So at the end of the day, it really depends on your character. If you're playing with someone like Tommy, you want this card. If you're playing with someone like Goldar, you want this card. I mean, you will want both of them if you're Goldar, but Goldar really doesn't have any equipment slots, I just noticed. So really, Goldar will favor this card over this card. Tommy can equip both, but he wants more equipment cards if he wants to deal more damage. So he would want this one first. So in my opinion, I would say this one is the better card. It's the same energy. You're drawing 2. You're not keeping 2, but you get to see which one you want. Do I want A or do I want B? So this one gives you an option. This one does not. If you're low on shards, whatever, this is the best option. But it really depends on your character. But if I was to pick one of my favorites, I would say Radbug is better than Parry. But it depends on the character, really, guys. And then we have Dodge and Dragon Shield. So Dodge negates an attack, draws 2 card, then discard this card. And Dragon Shield is a 5 energy card. It heals 3. So this is more like a survival card. I would say this is the worst one out of the 3. Because this is kind of like a trump card then. And I think the best card out of the 3 of them would be Dodge. Because Dodge compared to Radbug, yes, you do need more energy, but you keep both cards. You don't discard both cards. So I would say Dodge is the best one out of these 4. Then Radbug, Parry, and Dragon Shield. That is my order for these. Let's put these aside for now. Now let's see what else we have here. Let's see what kind of other cards we got here. We have Sword of Darkness. Let's see if we have any other attack cards. We have the Thunder Slinger. And those are the 2 damage cards we have here. I'm surprised because these are, you would think there would be more equipment damaging cards. Let's see what we have damage for maneuvers. We have 2. We have Flying Leap and we have Heavy Attack. Okay, so let's set these to the side. Okay, so let's see. Thunder Slinger. It's a 6 cost, deal 4 damage. If negated, each foe gains 1 stun, then discard this card. That sounds like a good effect to me. Then we have Sword of Darkness, 7 energy, deal 5 damage. If negated, deal 2 damage, then discard this card. So this card will always deal damage, even if negated. So if your opponent has like 1 health left, you're gonna deal 2 damage. They're done. So good card. Because this one, even if you negate it, you're giving your opponents a stun. And then for the maneuvers, we have deal damage equal to the highest cost card in the grid. If negated, discard card. I think this is one of the best cards right here. In my personal opinion, I think this is by far one of the best cards. Because if there is a cost 5, you're gonna deal 5, you know, if there's a cost. Well, I don't think it goes higher than 5, does it? Wait, let me double check. What are the locations cost? Let me double check on that. Okay, guys, so it looks like location cards, the highest cost is 4. So the highest cost on the grid is gonna be a 5. So we're gonna compare these two right here, because these two right here are the top, in my opinion. So, in my opinion, which one is better? Let's see. Deal damage equal to the highest cost card in the grid, which would be a 5. If negated, discard this card. Deal 5 damage. If negated, deal 2 damage, then discard this card. Okay, so at the end of the day, they're the same, right? But the difference is this is more of a randomizer. You know, depends. It really depends. Is that card you need, is it going to be in the grid? And for Flying Leap, what does Flying Leap do? Deal 1 damage for every 5 HP the opposing team has. So this really depends on what setting you're playing the health on. So if you're playing it on 30, 20, it really depends. So this is really good if you get it right away, and if you're playing on 30 health opposed to like 20. If you are, then you can deal like 6 damage, which would be the highest. So this card is really good when you're starting, and it's cheap. So to be honest with you guys, I think this might be the best card out of all of them, Flying Leap. Because I know it's a gamble, but if your opponent has full health, you're going to deal 1... Oh, wait, I read that wrong. 1 damage for every 5. Wait, did I read that wrong? Let me see. Nope, I read that right. So it would be 6 damage. So this would be the highest attack. I think I would have to give Sword of Darkness the best, because this is more of a gamble. And if it's negated, you deal no damage. If it's negated, you still deal 2. But you know what, actually? If this card is negated, it doesn't really do anything. So because of that, I'll make it go 2. What makes Sword of Darkness different from these is that if it gets negated, it's still going to deal damage. That's what makes it superior. And this one I would say 2, because it gives you a stun. And I would give 3 to Flying Leap, because, you know, pretty much is the same thing, these two, right? Even though it's more of a gamble. So I guess this is my order right here. Sword of Darkness, Dunderslinger, and Flying Leap, and Heavy Attack. That's just my own order, guys. I'm sure you guys have you guys disagree. Maybe you have your own, and that's fine. But this is the order I'm going with. And how many cards do we have left here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. How come we have 4 here? Oh, here you go. 5. Okay. So let's look at other cards that kind of look the same. All right, so we have Strike Oppose, which heals. And do we have any healing for equipment? I don't think so. I think at this point they're pretty much all unique except for these two. I'll double check. For equipment, Power Morpher, attach a card in your discard pile to a matching empty slot on your character. So this is a great card. And it's Morphin time. Gain 1 non-adversary card from the grid. I'm assuming that means anything that's not a villain. So you can attach... You gain it, you don't attach it. So that's the difference. So you can combo these two right here. You can gain it, then you can recover it from the discard pile. So this is just anything. Hero, if you're playing with the heroes, you can only get the yellow cards, which are heroes. If you're playing with the villains, you can only get the purple card, which is the villains. So these two have their uses. I feel like these two are equal. They work with each other. But this one has its downfall if there's nothing on the grid. And this one has its downfall if there's nothing on your discard pile. But I would assume that you're going to buy this when your discard pile looks nice and full. And I'm assuming you're going to buy this one when you see something good on the grid if it stays there. So, I mean, if push comes to shove, I would say this is one. This one's more versatile. then it's Morphin time. So I would give the power Morpher the edge. And let's see, we have 4 each here. We have Regeneration, which is a high cost card. Regeneration, heal 3 if you have 10. Heal 3, and if you have 10 or fewer, heal 5. So 10 or below, you heal 5. 10 or up, or say 11 or up, you heal 3. And see if we have any cards that kind of can match that card. We have Viewing Globe, Portal Bomb, Risk Communicator, and the Telescope. I don't think we have another card that really resembles that one. And we have destroy a card in your hand or discard pile. Heal HP equal to its cost. We have Knockout Blow. Target foe gains 1 stun. If negated, discard this card. And Maneuver. Target foe reveals their hand, discard a card. Okay, so this is the one that we were talking about earlier in the video. So this is by far one of the top cards, you know, now that we know how we can use it. If you're a ranger, this is by far a great card. If you have a blue slot, you're a ranger, I should say. If you don't have a blue slot, then you don't really care about that card. But if you do have a blue slot, you really do want that card. So you have Jason here, and you give him Disarm. Now Jason can look at your cards whenever he wants to for free. -2 to activate attached cards. And Disarm. Oh, I'm sorry. I put Strike Oppose. Sorry. And Disarm is -2. I was like, why is it 4? But that's why it's 4, because that's a different card. -2, so you can use this card all day for free. So I guess, guys, the rest of these cards, you know, this is probably one of the top remaining maneuver cards, excuse me. So I would put, obviously you always want a heal card, so I would put the heal card maybe first. Strike Oppose, destroy a card in your hand or discard pile. Heal. This one is a really great card. I would have to put this one number 2. Maneuver, target foe gains 1 stun. If negated, discard this card. This is a great card if you want to flood your opponents with stun. So if you are playing with a character, I would have to double check which character gives a lot of stuns. I believe there's one, or I might be thinking about the upcoming deck building game. Deal. I forgot who it was. Was it Gasket? That's his name, Gasket. I think he's the one that floods you with stun cards. So this would be great on him. This would be great. I would have to see this. Let me see his slots. I forgot what he looks like. Actually, you know what? I don't even have it on me, guys. I'm sorry, I can't even show you. But on one of my previous videos, I did show Gasket, and I forgot if he had a blue slot or what he has, but I would have to double check. But if he does have a blue slot, this would be a great card on him. But, you know, this would be my order for the remaining maneuvers. I think regeneration is important. This card might be better than this card, to be honest with you. Because if you have let's say you have, you can destroy your equipment card. Let's say you have your equipment card, which is crazy. Let's say you have one of your equipment cards. Does it cost 7, I believe, or 6? You can destroy that, and, you know, you heal 6 or 7. I think it's cost 6. So, you know, if I really wanted to be controversial here, I would say Strike Oppose is the best remaining card. So I would go 1, 2, 3, and 4. This will be my lineup. Strike Oppose first, regeneration, and then Knockout Blow. And for the remaining equipments, we were to see which one of these is the best. Now, let me tell you something. These location cards can be very annoying. That's one that just keeps giving you energy. But they all give you energy, really. When you play an equipment card, destroy a card in your hand or discard pile. This is a great way to thin your deck right here. So Portal Bomb, if you did buy the bonus, you have this card. This is a great card. Let's take a look at the other ones. What is Telescope for? Each target foe reveals the top card of their deck. They may discard any reveal cards. If negated, discard this card. So, you know, this is an underrated card Because each foe reveals the top card of their deck. If you may discard any revealed cards. So, let me see. I always look down at this card, I'll be honest. Each target foe reveals the top card of their decks. You may discard any revealed cards. So I wonder if it's just one card you're looking at or if multiple. It sounds like one, but it sounds like multiple because multiple players. If it's one, then it's not as good as I thought. So far it's going to be last. Unless there's something that I think is worse. Shuffle one hero or villain card from the main deck. Discard pile into the top 4 cards of the main deck. Okay, so this is actually pretty good. Because if you lost someone like Jason or Tommy, or a Red Ranger or Green Ranger that is a hero or a villain, you can bring them back in play. Portal Bomb I really like because you can target full discards one location they control. If negated, discard this card. So I'll put that one here. Let's see this one. Viewing Globe. Put up to 3 cards in the grid onto the bottom of the main deck, then refill. This is actually a great card right here. If you see like damage cards, especially on the grid, or you see a card that's really beneficial to your opposition, like for Goldar, for example, if you see any block cards, you want to use this card, get rid of those block cards, hoping that next thing doesn't draw out of the main deck, isn't more block cards. So this is like a gamble. I would put this second. I'm putting Portal Bomb 1 because I think locations are very dangerous. And who knows what kind of locations are coming out in the Zeo expansion. I'll put Risk Communicator third and then Telescope last. So, yeah, guys, there you have it. That's my lineup. Strike Oppose won that battle against these. You got Zord of Darkness who won the attacks. You got Dodge for me who won the blocks. And between its Morphin Time and the Power Morpher, which are attached cards, I chose the Morpher because it was more had more utilization. And compared to these that were healing, I think Strike Oppose is more versatile because you can destroy cards from your hand and heal. Which is a gamble, but I think is more beneficial, especially if you're really in trouble. And I think out of the remaining cards here, I think Portal Bomb is the best one out of all of them because, I mean, those location cards are no joke. They're no joke. Overall, these cards are good. We have an idea of what's coming in Zeo. But as soon as I obtain it, I will make a video of opening the box. If anyone hasn't bought it or thinking about buying it, I will make a video opening the box, going over every single card. That's right, I will go over every single card in detail. It won't be a fast video. I will read every text, every line. I will break it down for you guys. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video. Take care.